Welcome back to the Empowered Life channel. My name is Yvonne and this channel is all about bringing you content that is empowering, encouraging and inspiring. If it's your first time visiting this channel, please be sure to check out my other videos. If you like the content, hit the thumbs up button and be sure to subscribe to this channel so that you can be notified of any new uploads that I do post. So basically, Happy New Year to you. I know it's a little bit probably late in the year, still Happy New Year to you. I hope that 2019 is a year where all your hopes and dreams come true and that you will have a positive and productive year. So, 2018 for me really was a year of transition. I went from being in traditional employment, leaving that to setting up my new company, YEME Empowerment. And that was a really big step for me just because from the age of 18 years old to 41 years old, I always traditionally worked for an employer in a traditional sense of going in, doing a job and getting a paycheck every month. And that was absolutely great for the time that I did it. I learned a lot through all the jobs that I had done over my career. But I really just felt in the last couple of years it was time for a change. So in April last year, I took the plunge and took a step into the unknown and decided it was time for me to explore my passions and dreams in setting up my own company, YEME Empowerment. And YEME Empowerment is a company that offers different services and products to empower people. So in this video, I just want to share with you 5 tips that can help you to achieve your goals in 2019. I believe these 5 tips that I share with you will more or less put you on the right track to achieving your goals. So the first thing I want to share with you is be specific about your goal. So for instance, we've just finished Christmas. A lot of people put on a lot of weight over Christmas, and January is traditionally known as the month where most people start a new healthy regime of some sort. So if you go in the supermarkets or look on the internet or, in the newspapers, a lot of the time it's talking about losing weight, detoxing, getting healthy for a new year. And I'm not a stranger to that. I have a goal at the moment of losing some weight because I did overindulge with food and chocolate at Christmas. So, that for me, I have a specific goal of weight that I want to lose. A lot of the time, I don't really hear people talk about, I always hear people talk about, oh, I want to lose weight, but I never hear people talk about how much weight they want to lose. Maybe it's because it's a personal thing. People don't want people to know, and that's okay. But I just want to encourage you to be specific with your goal. So if it's to lose half a stone, 2 stone, be specific about it. And also when you're specific about the amount of weight that you want to lose, put in action plan steps of how you're going to get there. It's not enough to say, oh, specifically, I want to lose this amount of weight. You have to be specific about how you are going to achieve that goal. So for a lot of people, that might involve cutting out snacks, drinking more water, increasing exercise or starting exercise, having a weigh-in on a particular day to see how far along they are in losing the pounds to get to their specific weight. Another example of this is people sometimes in January want to find a new job. I've personally heard people say, I want a new job, but I never hear them say specifically what they want to do. A lot of the time, people who are in a job where they're unhappy just want to get out of it and go to another job. And I would discourage you if you're somebody who is in that position. I'm somebody across my career who's had many amazing jobs, but it was never really what I wanted to do. And that was a journey for me actually, because it wasn't really until I was about 35 that I really figured that I knew what I wanted to do, and that was in line with what I believe was my calling, what I believe my purpose is here on this earth to do. So I didn't know earlier on, what it was that I wanted to do, but all the jobs I had helped me with all the skills that I have to do what I'm doing today, and it's given me the confidence to step out. If you are somebody who is looking for a new job, be specific about what it is you want to do. Don't just go to another job. What is your passions? What are your desires? It might mean going back to college, doing a course, reading books on your desired job. But you have to put in place a plan to get there. You have to be specific. It might mean you don't move your job for now, but you must have a plan to work towards. So I would say to you, be specific in whatever goals that you set. The second tip I want to give you is make your goals manageable. And by that, I don't mean things that are not stretching you, challenging you, motivating you, building character. If your goals are not stretching you, challenging you, making you think outside the box, taking you outside your comfort zone, you will need to reevaluate your goals because they're really not challenging you to the best of your potential. What I mean by make your goals manageable is that, for instance, last year I had on my 2018 goals list about 8 goals that I wanted to achieve. At the end of last year, I realised I only achieved 4. And it wasn't because I wasn't doing the things to work towards all 8 of them, but I realised some of my goals were huge ones. So, for instance, finishing my Choose Life book and getting that edited, and getting that all finished, that was a huge thing to do. Also, I have a peer empowerment organisation and I had to do a lot of marketing with getting the support group out there. And, you know, these goals were huge things to do. And going forward on reflection, I set for this year 4 goals for 2019 and they are huge. I can't really give myself any more goals for this year. I want to encourage you with making your goals manageable because the last thing you want to do is set yourself up to fail, to feel like you've not achieved anything this year. And you know, it can be quite demotivating if you get to the end of the year and you have all these goals and nothing is done or finished or you haven't accomplished them. So even if you have 1 goal or 2 goals, whatever amount of goals you have, make them manageable. So you've been specific about your goal, you've put in action plan steps of how you're going to go towards achieving it, you have made your goals manageable, you've not given yourself too much goals so that you won't feel overwhelmed. Now you need to commit to your goals. So this is something many people struggle with, and by the first quarter of the year, many people have given up on their goals. Whatever time you set aside, you have to commit to your goal. You can't have your goal and 1 minute you're doing it and you do it for a week and then 2 weeks later you pick it up again. You have to commit yourself to the goal. So I know everybody's busy, life is busy, people work, have got family, careers, hobbies going on. But I want to encourage you to commit to your goal. If it is only half an hour a day that you can commit to your goal, that is fine. In the example that I've given you about the weight loss, that is a goal that you're going to have to commit to for a short period or a specific period of time to get the desired result. You have to commit to your goal if you want to accomplish it. So even if it's 1 day a week doing something, for me with my Choose Life book, which is about to be released next week, I have committed from next week a specific amount of time each day to do emails, to follow up leads, to put my book out there, to engage with the potential customers of my book. I have to do this consistently for the next maybe 6 months, and even after that continue to do that with emails and social media and calling people in order to get my book out there. I have to commit that time. Whatever goal that you have, commit your time to doing it. And there can be no excuse. If you say you can only do it for half an hour or an hour or 1 day a week or for a period of time, you're going to have to commit to it. Look at your diary, look at the things you've got going on. How much of that time can you decently say that you can commit to going towards achieving your goal? It could be that you want to write a book or you've started to write. How about if you commit to a certain amount of words each day, 500 words a day, 1,000 words a day? Commit to that time of doing your goal or working towards your goal and you will see the results. The fourth thing I want to share with you is to be consistent and persistent in all you do. When I look back on 2018, I can see why I had the success I had. Besides the favour of God, the other thing that helped me to get the success that I had was consistency and being persistent. And this is a trait that I didn't just develop in 2018. This is a trait that I have developed for the last 8 years. Back in 2011, when I set up my peer empowerment organisation, Daughter Arise, which is for survivors of childhood sexual abuse, I started it as a volunteer, and I'm still a volunteer now. It required me every single day putting in the work consistently, building the policy and procedures, reaching out to people who had been affected by the issues. I had to do it whether I felt like it or not. And trust me, there were so many times I felt like giving up. It really felt like hard work. It really felt that I wasn't making any ground. And there are still times where I feel sometimes, I want to give up, but I didn't. That is the key thing. I remained consistent. In everything that I have done, consistency has been the thing that has pulled me through, regardless of whether I feel like it or not. And it's something that is automatically now ingrained in me after 8 years. So if, for instance, I have a blog, I have been consistently doing blogging now for nearly 3 years. And on my other site on Daughter Arise, I think I've missed probably 1 or 2 blogs in 3 years. And my Empowered Life blog on the YEME Empowerment website, I just started blogging in April, and I've probably missed 2 blogs. But this year I'm going forward and I'm going to continue to blog every single month. You have to be consistent. When you show people that you can be consistent, it shows that you can be trusted with people's time. People know that if I run the support group, which I've been running for 4 years, if on my website I have a date on there that I'm going to do it for a certain amount of months each year, they know that I am going to be there and run that support group. People are more likely to trust you if they see that you're consistent. And in business, that is good as well, because people want to see that you're consistent. It shows that you're a person of your word. It shows what you say you will do, you will do. In terms of your goals, be consistent with them, commit to them and be consistent. Even if you have a bad day and you fall off, get back up and continue on. Consistency is a behavior, it is a trait that is built over time. Apparently it takes 21 days to build a new habit. Scientists reckon, I think it's 21 days. You have to be consistent in all you do, and in the end, it will pay off. Another area that you should be looking at in terms of your goals is to be persistent. I remember my goal 8 years ago was to get my first book, Daughter Arise, into bookstores, and I was told no one would buy your book, you're not well known enough, there's not really a niche for this type of book. And I tried, and at the time I had a book publishing contract, and the book company didn't really market my book as well as they should have, and this caused so many problems. After a while I kind of gave up, because I was always hearing this kind of negative thing about, no one knows me, no one would buy my book. But after a while I thought to myself, actually I believe what I have to say will help many people in their life. So I continued on. What happened is that me and the book company parted ways. I hired a book designer to redo the cover of my book, and then I started to approach stores with my book Daughter Arise, and by this stage it had been out for 7 years. I was really persistent. I went to Waterstones, I constantly went in the ones of store, pestered them, emailed them, called them, and you know what, last year I managed to get my book into Waterstone stores. It's available online. I managed to get it into Waterstones in Wandsworth and Notting Hill. When I went into the store and saw my book on the shelf, I cried, because it had been nearly 8 years of trying to get this book into the store. And I'm just sharing this with you to encourage you to be persistent in all you do. Sometimes, as part of the journey, you will get discouraged, you will feel disappointed, you will feel disheartened. God knows I've had so many situations in my life where I just wanted to give up. People always try and put me in boxes. But what I have learned is that in everything you do, in reaching your goals, you have to be persistent. If you fall down, get back up, continue on, look at the finish line, keep your eyes on the prize. The prize is accomplishing your goal. So be consistent and persistent in all you do, and you will see success. The other thing I want to share with you is to journal your progress. Journaling is a fantastic way of having a track record of what you do with your time and your life. People keep diaries, journals for different reasons, whether that is just to pour out feelings and thoughts. Other people have it more as a tool where they can monitor progress, and I have diaries for each of those things. Last year when I set up YEME Empowerment, I also had this little book which was given to me by a friend of mine. And what I do in this particular journal is to log and track all my progress, all the things that I am doing to work towards my goals. And it has been so helpful for me to be able to have this because it helps me to keep on track. So, I would encourage you to journal your progress, write everything down, how you feel about your reaching your goals, what steps you have taken, when you reach the goals, how it felt. These things are an amazing encouragement. I find it encouraging when I look back on my journals to see how I've improved, how I've grown, how I've adapted my weaknesses and things that I have become very, very strong on. And it's really helped me towards setting goals for the following year. I'm somebody that never does New Year's resolutions, just because I don't like to set myself up to fail. I used to do it in my 20s and I didn't really find it beneficial. Instead, every year I just continue to want to do better and improve myself and continue to build on my success. And I find in doing that, actually, I have produced more results with my life and with my time. I hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to check out my website, www.yemeempowerment.com. If you have any questions for me, you can drop it below in the comments box or contact me on info@yemeempowerment.com. Check out my website because, as I said, I offer a range of empowerment services and products that you or your company or somebody that you might know may find helpful. And I will see you on the next video.